Welcome back sa ating channel. Naging mainit nga na usapin sa mundo ng social media. Senador Raffy Tulfo tila umaksyon na sa mga politiko at tila sasampahan at ipapakulong ang mga mayor na pangungurap ang ginagawa sa bansang Pilipinas at hindi ito pinaglilingkuran. Ngunit balta ng maraming netizen, bakit kaganyan magsalita Senador Raffy Tulfo? Parang alam na alam mo ang lahat, ngunit hanggang salita ka naman, hanggang dakdak ka lang naman, wala ka naman sa action. Balta naman ng isang supporters ni Senador Raffy Tulfo na maghintay kayo, may kalalagyan kayo. Banat pa nga ng isang netizen, in my point of view, we knew even from our very young age at grade school what every citizen, young and old, needs prime and foremost in the basics need: food, clothing, shelter, and medicine, vitamins. So before other needs of country be attended to be the president, it should be the most basic need first. Let the people feel it. Let Congress legislate on that issue soonest and comprehensively. Let executive and legislative branches of our government work every closely hand in hand to provide our basic needs. Then let us citizens feel its presence in our daily life, a plea from a senior citizen. I thought unionism is not allowed in government. Association organization of workers is permitted in government, but striking of work and any like sit-down strike is not permitted. Nakakarumi na kayong mga taga-senado. Ginagawa na ninyong radyo at broadcaster ang mga membro. Sayang ang pera ng bayan. Anong solusyon at batas ang naipatupad upang mabago ang mga kawatan sa gobyerno? Well mga kababayan, para nga sa karagdagang impormasyon, panoorin natin ang buong detalye. At kung bago ka pa lamang sa aking channel, huwag kalimutan i-click ang subscribe button at notification bell para lagi kang updated sa ating mga bagong video. At para sa sulit viewers natin dyan, maraming salamat sa walang sawang pagsuporta.
Senator Raffy Tulfo is recognized. Salamat, Mr. President. Mr. President, marami na pong experience dito po sa kaso tulad ng kaso na sinabi ni Senator JV in the past. And I fully support Mr. President Senator JV Ejercito. Nakakalungkot nga po na maraming ganitong klase pangyari. In my experience in the past, marami po ako natulungan na. Tinatawagan ko po yung mga mayor, yung mga maninipis sa muka, tumitiklop, at binibigay po yung perang nararapat para doon sa mga empleyado. Pero yung mga makakapala muka, hindi bumibigay. Ewan ko lang, ako'y nananawagan kay Mäyör Zämörâ, kung manipis po mukha nyo, ibigay nyo na. Kung makapala mukha nyo, i-ombudsman ka. Kasi Mr. President, may batas naman tayo against that, ba? Na kailangan maibigay. I think it's just implementation ang kulang dito. So therefore, kung nagmamatigas si Mäyör Zämörâ, sasampa natin ang kaso sa ombudsman. At on top of that, siguro iparating natin sa mga constituents niya, sa mga botante, about his character. And then let the voters decide pagdating na eleksyon kung sisibakin ba o i-retain ang isang lingkod bayan na hindi ginagawa ang tama para sa kanya mga botante, para sa kanya mga constituents. Naniniwala po ako kay Senator JB, sinabi niya, nothing political as far as he is concerned. Pero kay Mäyör Zämörâ, mukhang political vendetta na nangyari dito. Ang masakit, yung nag-uuntugang bato, dalawang batong nag-uuntugan, ang naipit yung mga malilit na mga kababayan. Kaya Mr. President, nananawagan ako, it's about time, siguro pag-isipan kung paano maging stricto yung implementation tungkol sa batas na panggigipit sa mga terminal leave ng mga empleyado. For now, I'm calling upon Mäyör Zämörâ for the second time. Mayor, Sir, kung manipis po ang mukha nyo, kung ako po sa inyo, pakawalan nyo na po yung pera ng mga constituents niyo o ng mga dati nyo empleyado. Pakawalan nyo na po, dahil kapag hindi, isa po ako na makikipag-usap sa inyong mga botante at makakarating sa kanila lahat ito kung anong klaseng mayor kayo na nangapi at nanggigipit ng mga maliit nating kababayan. At kung makapal pa rin ang mukha nyo, ako po ay tutulong para maisulong yung pagsampa ng kaso sa ombudsman against you. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, my distinguished colleague. Mr. President, gusto ko lang pasalamatan si Senator Raffy Tulfo na kaya nga minsan sa bagal ng takbo, yung wheels of justice sometimes is very slow. Kaya marami po talagang sumasangguni at humihingi ng saklolo sa kanya. At nagpapasalamat ako sa kanyang pagtingin sa aming po mga empleyado na nagretiro. Tama po siya eh. Sana po yung laban, yung away namin sa politika, hayaan na lang namin sa amin as political nemesis. Pero po, wag naman po sanang idamay yung mga nasa baba. Dahil sila po nagsilbi lang, hindi po sila kasama dapat. At ilabas sila sa laban sa politika. Thank you, Sen. Raffy. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Majority Leader.
My dear colleagues, nung nakarang linggo, lumapit po sa aking tanggapan si Nanay Teresa Merihildo, 65 years old, may bahay, at misis ng isang SSS pensioner na si Tatay Maximo Merihildo. Si Tatay Maximo po ay umutang sa Ever First Loan Corporation noong 2019 hanggang sa June 2022. Ang Ever First Loan Corporation ay isang lending company na nagpapautang sa mga SSS at GSIS pensioners at ginagamit nilang ATM ng mga pensioners bilang collateral. Noong December 16, 2022, namatay po si Tatay Maximo. Nahirapan na po kunin ni Nanay Teresa ang ATM. Umiiyak si Nanay Teresa sa akin dahil nawala na nga siya ng katuwang sa buhay. Hindi pa niya makuha ang ATM kahit sa pagkakaalam niya ay bayad na ang utang ni Tatay Maximo. Nagmamatigas ang Ever First Loan at iniipit pa rin daw ang ATM. Akin na pong natulungan si Nanay Teresa at maayos na pong nakausap ang Ever First. Pero ang mas nakakantig sa puso ko ay ang sitwasyon ng ating mga mahirap na kababayan na kinakailangang isanla ang kanilang pension ATM para mangutang. Ang kwento po ni Nanay Teresa ay hindi bago. Madami na po akong narinig na kwento ng mga matatanda na kailangan bumili ng gamot pero hindi sila makabili dahil nandoon at nakasanla ang kanilang ATM. Sa kaso po ni Nanay Teresa, 9,500 pesos po ang kanyang pension at ang kinakaltas ng Ever First ay 9,000 kada buwan bilang hulog sa utang nila. At ang sukli na 500 pesos ay kailangan niyang dayuhin sa opisina ng Ever First upang pantawid niya buong buwan. Nawalan sila ng freedom of access sa kanilang mga pera. Maraming pensioners po ang lumalapit sa programa ko o dito sa opisina natin sa Senado para maitawid ang kanilang mga pangangailangan para sa gamot o pang-ospital. Hindi man sapat ang nakukuha ng mga kababayan natin sa kanilang pensyon, malaking tulong pa rin ito sa mga mahirap nating kababayan na talagang walang ipon. Kaya kapag ito ay naipit dahil sa sanla, ATM, walang-wala na talagang pinagkukunan itong mga lolo at lola natin. Bakit ba nagkakaganito ang mga pensioners? Una, wala silang ipon. Di naman kaila na ang karamihan sa ating mga kababayan ay isang kahig at isang tuka. Kung anong kinita ngayon ay sapat lang sa pang-araw-araw. And that is why we have laws establishing the SSS and GSIS. We have RA 11199 or the Social Security Act of 2018 and RA 8291 or the Government Service Insurance System Act of 1997. In these laws, we enforce and regulate a means for our people to save through monthly contributions supplemented by shares from their employers. In these insurance systems, our people will have something to rely on for health, death, and other unforeseen incidents. Through these laws, they do not have to become a charity case. They grow old with some form of dignity. Pero ang problema po ay kulang na kulang ang pensyon ng mga retirees natin. Hindi ito sapat para sa kanilang sariling pangangailangan at sa kanilang mga pamilya. Kaya napipilitan po silang mangutang. But it is very difficult for the poor to secure loans from banks and other financial institutions. They just take loans from relatives or friends. But if none could give them, these Sangla ATM lending institutions provide an easy mode for securing a loan. They just turn over the ATM and their PIN code, and they're able to secure a loan with the pension ATM as their collateral. The problem, my dear colleagues, which I've encountered so many times with the complaints that I receive, is that our elderly pensioners are being taken advantage of. Their scheming children, relatives, or caregivers take their pension ATMs and take on a loan on their behalf, sometimes forging their signatures. These pensioners are unaware that loans have been taken under their name, or sometimes they are coerced to agreeing to their able-bodied caregiver or relatives. At kapag kailangan na talaga nila ng pera para sa kanilang pagkain, utilities, gamot o pang-doktor, sila ang walang napagkukunan. Karapatan naman po ng bawat tao na umutang kung gusto nila. Basta't naayon sa batas sa mga kasunduan. Wala namang masama po rito. Ang hindi ko po matanggap ay ang binigay natin sa ating batas upang maprotektahan ang ating mga pensioners sa kanilang pagkatanda ay nawala dahil sa Sangla ATM. Kung tutusin, itong pagbigay ng pensyon sa pamamagitan ng ATM ay para sana mapadali ang pagkuha ng pensyon ng ating mga lolo at lola. Pero ngayon, ito ay napapasama pa dahil sa Sangla ATM. Let us remember, the policy behind the creation of the SSS and GSIS is social justice. This is a mandate of the Constitution. Social justice, according to Jose P. Laurel, is the humanization of laws in the equalization of social and economic forces by the state. To put it simply, as stated by my favorite president, Ramon Magsaysay, those who have less in life should have more in law. Excuse me. Pursuant to this mandate, we established the SSS and GSIS with a goal in mind to establish a sound and viable tax-exempt social security system suitable to the needs of the people, which shall promote social justice through savings and ensure meaningful social security protection to members of their beneficiaries against the hazards of disability, sickness, maternity, old age, death, and other contingencies resulting in loss of income or financial burden. Ang pensyon po na nakukuha sa SSS at GSIS ay a matter of public policy. This is not your regular insurance. This is provided by law pursuant to our public policy on social justice. Now, if this public policy is being hindered by schemes such as Sangla ATM, then we have to do something. What exactly is Sangla ATM? It is a form of informal lending wherein the ATM card is used as the collateral and where the lender uses the ATM card or debit card to withhold the payment from the salary payment on every pay until the entire amount is repaid. According to the Bangko Sentral survey in 2014, 39.9% of collaterals used for loan is Sangla ATMs. This is bigger than the use of land, appliances, vehicle, or harvest as collateral. Given this data, the fact that SSS has 1,946,029 retirement pensioners, while the GSIS has 372,992 old-age pensioners, we must look if there's a need to regulate the use of the pension ATM as collateral in Sangla ATM system. At the moment, there is no prohibition or regulation governing the Sangla ATM transactions. During the 17th Congress, the matter of Sangla ATM was already raised by our courageous Senator Grace Poe in Senate Resolution 632. She emphasized our state policy to regulate the establishment of lending companies and to prevent and mitigate, as far as practicable or practicable, practices prejudicial to public interest. But to balance this policy, the resolution recognized that access to financial is an inseparable component of ensuring inclusive growth and poverty reduction. Tama po. We have to regulate Sangla ATM, but we also acknowledge that to the poor, this is their only means to secure fast loans kailangan din po ibalanse. The matter was taken up by the Committee on Banks, Financial Institution, and Currencies presided by its then Chair, Senator Francis Scudero. During the hearing, the concerns regarding Sangla ATM were raised, but in the end, it was concluded that it is legitimate means of securing loan. The BSP held its opinion on whether there is a need to prohibit it outright. But the said hearing was held in 2018, or almost 5 years ago. I believe that there are still legitimate concerns regarding this mode of securing loans, and given new laws governing our banks and other related matters, maybe it is time to conduct an inquiry whether the system of Sangla ATM is a matter that needs regulation or even legislation. Mr. President, I'm looking into proposing the prohibition or regulation of the use of SSS and GSI's pension ATM as a collateral and providing corresponding penalties. And while we are on this matter, I would like to find out the stand of Central Bank and the Monetary Board with regard to the use of ATMs or debit cards as collateral for loans by lending companies. What are the implications of Sangla ATM to the security of our banking system and its compliance with all our other laws? And let us see if there are abusive lending practices in these, if there are abusive lending practices in these transactions. Finally, seeing the plight of our elderly regarding securing loans, an inquiry on the possibility of providing lower interest rates for our pensioners and a ceiling on the loans they take should also be conducted, Mr. President. The opinion of our economists and financial experts would be key to the development of policies surrounding this matter. I ask the support of my dear colleagues for us to provide genuine social justice for our people. Hindi po yung salita lang or batas sa papel. Let us make them feel what really means to have more in law. Good afternoon, Mr. President, and my dear colleagues. Magandang hapon po.
Yes. Thank you, Senator Raffy Tulfo, Majority Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Let me just...
May mga kondisyon eh. But these employees already completed all their clearances. Kaya lang, alam niyo naman si gobyerno minsan, pagbalik nila, pag nag-follow up, nawawala ang papel, nagtuturuan. So, the usual. 20 plus.
What is the cost component of that? Para malaman na natin more or less. Doon sa 20 plus, magkano po ang halaga na due them, no? Accrued to them.
If I may give the amounts, no? Yung iba po, tagwa 1.2 million, 1.1 million. Si Dr. Esquivel, because of 25 years of service, is due to be paid 2.5 million. Emil Solisa, 32 years of service, 3 million. Kay Leonardo Boyceles, 30 years of service, 2.2 million. Kay Tita Violi, no? 31 years of service, so a couple of millions as well. Morel de Sena, 600,000 for 17 years. Ang iba po, mga doktor pa rin, mga doktor po namin ang nakasama rin po doon. So, Dr. Magali, 2.8 million for 20 years of service as Chief of Hospital. So, we'll just give it a total of total claims in the city of San Juan.
So, more or less, my idea, Carl, it's about over 100 million? Di naman.
Around 40 million, Mr.
40
President.
million lang?
40 million.
Okay.
Nung tinanong ko po si Mayor, sabi niya wala raw appropriations. But from what I gathered, because of the law, Mr. President, it should be appropriated because that is the obligation of the city because these are, again, services rendered by employees. And before my mother stepped down as Mayor of the City of San Juan, there was already appropriation for the payment of these retirement benefits.
Yes. Well, with due respect to the City of San Juan, hindi mangyayari yan dito sa Senado. At least not on my watch. And then the Senate employees know that. Here in the Senate, bida po yung empleyado. And all the other agencies under the Senate, including the commission appointments.
But let me just reiterate, no, that this is not nothing political. Ito po yung pakiusap, no. Gaya ng nabanggit ko, maaring maliit na halaga sa kanila 2 point, sa iba yun, sa Sa kanila yung 2.5, 1. Pero po sa mga empleyadong ito, malaking bagay po sana ito para sa kanilang pamilya. Especially now at their advanced ages, pangbayad ng panggamot, pang maintenance at lahat, no? This would have helped them a lot.
Yes. Well, every opportunity that I may have to see the mayor of San Juan, kaibigan din naman natin siya, I'll mention it to him. But of course, this committee, the speech will be directed to a particular committee so that it can be taken up and the facts can be heard. So, Majority Leader?
Yes, Mr. President, let me just join your statement, Mr. President, that this is not just for the city of San Juan, but also talking
For
about
the whole government.
for the entire country,
Yes.
for every single city, province, and municipality, Mr. President. And just to put on record, regarding your statement, Mr. President, ang daming nag-text, sana daw all.
Yung nga. Well, I'd like to also, if I may be allowed, to react. Nung nabanggit ko nga po yung ating tinatawag na inflationary assistance, buklod po yan ng 10 taon. Gusto ko lang pong lagay sa record. 10 taon na bargaining agreement ng ating union ng Senado. I want to put that on record. For 10 years, the union, ating union, yung Senado, has been pushing for additional daily assistance for inflation. Dahil nagmamahal na po ang presyo ng...
It's very timely, Mr.
Very
President.
timely.
Considering that we
Correct.
underwent this
Pandemic.
pandemic, Mr. President.
And if you look at it, yung binigay po natin assistance sa ating mga kawani dito is only 130 pesos po a day. 130 pesos a day. Siyempre tinitignan nila buo eh. Ang laki naman. Sana all. Pero kung titignan mo, 130 pesos lang po yan pambayad ng dagdag bayad sa toll, sa gasolina, sa pagkain at lahat.
Parking fee lang po yan, Mr. President.
The last adjustment we made, the last adjustment we made was 2007.
Yeah.
If I was the President of the Republic of the Philippines, for the record, I'll give it to all. But I am not. I'm only head of this agency. That is the truth. Now, I would do it. As a
You
matter of
already
fact,
have 4 votes here, Mr. President.
I will
Just kidding.
co-author the bill of Senator Raffy Tulfo to come up already with the legislative wage increase. I agree. Sana all. I totally agree with them. Huwag yun na ako batikusin, yung mga nagbabatiko sa akin. Kasi ginagawa ko lang talaga yung kaya ko. Kung kaya ko sa lahat, gawin natin sa lahat. Kaya sabi ko nga, I told my staff, yung bill ni Senator Raffy na legislated wage hike, tulungan natin yan. Let's make a stand. At least they need a living wage. Our people need a living wage, not just a daily wage, because the daily wage is not enough. And so I support the position of our distinguished colleague, Senator Raffy Tulfo.
Mr.
And
President.
hopefully, mapasa natin yun as a clear statement that we want to assist our countrymen in coming up with a living wage for all.
If I may add also, Mr. President, that you have been very fair, no? Because we know for a fact that in the Senate, this is a different level, that employees here do not complain, no? Lalo na pag budget season, we start from 10 a.m., we end at 2 a.m., walang umaangal dito. And
Puro overtime tayo dito.
Puro overtime, walang humingi na overtime, and you're just giving it to our Senate employees because they deserve it, no? Because
Yes.
they work so hard. That's why also in that relation, Mr. President, I would attribute the success of San Juan's rapid development to the hard work of the employees. Hindi dahil magaling na mayor si Mayor JB o Mayor Jinggoy, Mayor Erap. It was the employees who are the catalyst for growth. Kung wala po sila, hindi po unlad ang San Juan ngayon. They are already enjoying 2.5 to 3 billion revenues for a very small city, and that's a lot. If you would look at the per capita income, probably we're one of the highest in the country, and that is because of the hard work of these people who toiled through the years. Kaya Mr. President, I am again appealing to Mayor Zamora na hindi po ito pampolitika, no? This is really just asking for the terminal pay of the people who really did a lot and contributed so much to San Juan's progress through the years. So, and that is money earned, they are service rendered, pera po nila yan. At kaya nga po, bago tayo magtapos, nakikinig naman si Idol Rapi, ay ba, inusumbong ko na po sa inyo. Isusumbong ko na kay Tulfo ngayon
Pwede
pala.
din na-interviewin yung mga guest mo dyan para sa show. But yes, so thank you, Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President. Considering the name of our distinguished colleague has been mentioned several times, may I move that the gentleman from Isabela, the Republic of the Philippines, be recognized, Senator Rafi Tulfo, Mr.
Our
President.
distinguished colleague, the pro-labor champion here in the Senate, together with Senator Villanueva and other senators.
Well mga kababayan, makikita nga natin ang katapangan ni Senador Rafi Tulfo sa loob ng Senado. Ngunit marami pa ring netizen na tila binabatuka si Idol Senator Rafi Tulfo na hanggang salita lang ito at walang mapapakulong. Hanggat walang ang napapakulong ay tila mananatili na nagdududa pa rin ang maraming netizen sa kakayahan ni Senador Rafi Tulfo. Well, ipakita nga natin ang ating suporta kay Senador Rafi Tulfo sa pag-comment sa ating comment section at ating pag-uusapan ang mga inyong opinyon.